Would you be willing to stand on a ski run with a camera and trust Australia's fastest ever skier to stop at the crucial moment? Well, Richard Snashall took up the challenge and survived. To find out what drives one of Australia's greatest winter sports people. Not just satisfied with a swag of medals, records and many international awards, Michael Milton now wants to climb mountains and faces his biggest challenge to date, becoming a dad.
Well, I'm certainly no skier, so I've taken the chairlift and I'm waiting for Australia's fastest skier, Michael Milton, who's going to come down the hill, and he's offered to come right up to me and spray me. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. I think he's coming now. You offered to spray me, so is that what spraying me is?
No, I tried not to spray you. No, spraying you would have a big plume of cloud around head height.
What about my bag? I can't even see it.
Sorry. In life, what's rewarding for me is setting myself challenges, setting myself goals, and then trying to go out and achieve and accomplish them. And you know, it's something that works for me. That is just you know, the pinnacle of life, I guess.
Now, where does that determination come from?
You know, I guess it comes from many places. Part of it comes from my parents and my upbringing. They were generally, gave me a lot of rope to go and do what I wanted to do. I think many parents whose children acquire a disability in particular can be a little bit short with them and really try and protect them and overprotect them. And my parents were perhaps the opposite in they were aware of the problem and they knew they needed to let me free and let me experience all the bumps and bruises that come with life. So I guess it's partly that, it's partly having a disability, and it's partly who I am.
So when you gained your disability, which was through bone cancer at the age of 9, you had your leg amputated, how did you sort of process that as a young kid?
I don't think kids process it. You just deal with the environment that you're given, and that's what kids are about. And you know, I adapted to that environment that I was given.
So you weren't necessarily thinking, why have I been dealt such a bad hand or anything like that?
Yeah, you have those times, sure. You know, you go through some tough times. I remember throwing my prosthesis out the second-story window and just going, I don't want this metal one, I want a real one, and you know, spitting the dummy, and that's what kids are about too. But I guess it's a matter of, over time, learning to accept it, learning to deal with it, and then over the space of maybe 10 or 12 years, becoming totally comfortable within yourself, who you are, what you look like, and having disability.
We met in Brisbane. I was working for the Australian Paralympic Committee at the time in Brisbane, and he'd just won 4 gold medals at the 2002 Salt Lake Paralympic Games. So I invited him up to do some PR and marketing and speaking engagements and school visits with me, and well, here we are.
So you weren't actually a skier or familiar with skiing?
I'd skied once before we met, quite some
she wasn't
time
a skier.
before. Does that?
Once doesn't count, sorry.
And you will be 3, I believe, before too long.
Yeah, another 6-8 weeks or so. We're expecting a daughter. Well, at least we think it's a girl, and people have told us it's a girl. So yeah, that's very exciting. It's, you know, as I said, you know, my life has changed significantly, you know, and that will be the next biggest change. And I keep saying to Michael, you know, he thinks it's scary skiing downhill at 200 odd kilometres an hour. It's much scarier having a child.
213.65 kilometres an hour. Now, when you were travelling at that speed earlier this year in France, becoming Australia's fastest skier ever, does time actually slow down?
I don't know if time actually slows down. It may seem like that, but I think of it in a little bit different way. As your body accelerates, the environment that you're giving your mind makes it accelerate as well. So it seems like time is standing still because your mind is thinking at such a great rate. You know, that's due partly to the adrenaline and endorphins that are going through your system from scaring the wits out of yourself on the hill. But yeah, certainly there's a lot of time there, and it feels like there's a lot of time because your mind is just going so quickly and it thinks with such clarity. It's one of the things I love about speed skiing.
What's sort of on the cards for the future for Michael Milton?
We've spoken about speed skiing already, and certainly 220 and another 5 or 6 years speed skiing is something I'm looking forward to. I love the mountain environment, and that passion for the mountain as I mature more is turning itself in different directions. I want to climb mountains. I want to get to some peaks and see what it's like and experience, I guess, a more natural environment in the mountains than you do in a ski resort like I've spent most of my life in. So getting myself physically and technically ready to do some mountain climbing. I'm off to walk the Kokoda Trail later this year, and then Mount Cook in New Zealand, January 2007, is something that I believe is a realistic target. I believe in the future that people with disabilities are going to become increasingly independent as adaptive equipment improves, and the desire will be in the community less about helping and more just about supporting and accepting.
Michael Milton, I think you're one enormous person of ability. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And finally today,